Hi, my name is Brianna Fredrickson, and today I'm going to be talking about bioethanol. Bioethanol is a renewable fuel that's helping us move away from traditional fossil fuels. With growing concerns about climate change and pollution, exploring cleaner energy sources like bioethanol is more important than ever. So first, what exactly is bioethanol? Bioethanol is a type of alcohol that's made by fermentating sugars and starches from plant materials, like corn, sugarcane, and even some types of grasses. Because it comes from plants, it's considered renewable and it can be used to replace or supplement gasoline in vehicles. It started gaining attention back in the 1970s when oil prices were rising and people started seriously considering the environmental impact of fossil fuels. Since then, it's become a widely researched and produced fuel, especially in countries like Brazil and the United States. Now let's take a look at how bioethanol is made. The production process involves three main steps. First, there's pretreatment. This breaks apart the plant material and separates the parts that we want, like cellulose. Then comes hydrolysis, where the cellulose is broken down into sugars. After that, we move to fermentation, where yeast or bacteria convert those sugars into ethanol. Finally, there's distillation, which purifies the ethanol for use as a fuel. This process has come a long way, but researchers are still working on improving the efficiency and finding better materials to work with, especially ones that don't compete with our food supply. Bioethanol has several important uses. One of the most common is as a vehicle fuel, either in pure form or blended with gasoline. For example, E10 and E85 fuels are blends that you might have seen at the gas station. It also is used for heating, especially in places like a fireplace and portable heaters. It's designed to burn ethanol cleanly. And lastly, is used as a fuel additive, which helps boost gasoline octane rating and reduces harmful emissions from car engines. There are quite a few benefits to using bioethanol. First, it can reduce greenhouse gas emissions compared to traditional gasoline, which helps fight climate change. It also raises the octane rating of fuel, which can improve engine performance and efficiency. Another big plus is that it's renewable. We can grow more of it, so it helps reduce our dependency on fossil fuels. If there is ever a spill, bioethanol is biodegradable, so it causes less damage to the environment than if oil or gasoline was spilled. Bioethanol also plays a big role in the economy. It supports job creation in farming, fuel production, and distribution. It contributes to GDP and household income, especially in rural areas where crops are grown. It also helps strengthen energy security by reducing the need for imported oil. However, it's not all upside. There are challenges too. Large-scale bioethanol production can affect food prices, since crops like corn are used for both food and fuel. It can also raise concerns about land use, especially if forests or grasslands are cleared to grow fuel crops. So where do we go from here? Bioethanol is a solid step towards cleaner energy, but we can make it better. One issue is that crops like corn and sugarcane aren't the most sustainable choices. They use a lot of land, water, and resources, and they compete with our food production. There is a cleaner alternative like food waste or algae, which don't have those same drawbacks. The problem is those technologies are still expensive and not widely used. If there is no funding limits, here was my plan. 1. We can build advanced facilities and make bioethanol from waste and algae. 2. Fund research to improve the speed and cost of bioethanol production. 3. Create infrastructure to collect farm waste and distribute the fuel effectively. 4. Expand bioethanol usage in shipping and trucking, where emissions are harder to reduce. 5. Add carbon capture technology to production sites to make the process even cleaner. That wraps up my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. This is my sources cited, and thank you for listening.